everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I am Suzette Speaks, founder of the Speak Women's Empowerment Conference. We hope you will join us on April 4th. It's a Saturday in the city of Miramar for an extraordinary day of women like the one sitting next to me. Thank you so much for watching. We love coming to you every Saturday. This is none other than Miss Julia Aquino-Serrano. She is a coach, entrepreneur, consultant, and just an overall woman extraordinaire that I admire. She not only will be speaking at this year's conference, she has wonderful programs. I want you guys to check her out because she helps women get to the next level. But we're here today to talk a little bit about entrepreneurship, the ugly side, okay? So many of us want to become entrepreneurs. I was telling her, I think that's like the word of the decade. But many of us don't know that there are a lot of other challenges that come once you decide to step into the entrepreneurial pool. So we're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect. So Julia, how are you today?
I'm great.
I'm
Thanks
so glad
for
you're
having
here.
me.
So tell us a little bit about, first of all, what you do.
I have a company called She Defined, and we do workshops, coaching, and retreats for women. And I'm also a consultant that works with companies to help them operationally, financially, and strategically. And essentially, I really coach people to get to where they're intending to go.
Absolutely. So we all need that push, guys. Don't sleep on getting a coach. But I really want to talk a little bit about your journey because so many of us see the successful woman at the end of the journey. She has a corporate background, worked for others. She has a degree. I'm going to tell all your business. She has a degree in finance, master's in accounting. She's really good at crunching the numbers and making organizations run better. But before you become the woman you are today with clients galore, yes, and all the wonderful upside of becoming an entrepreneur, there was definitely a start to the journey that we want to kind of focus on. So what did you learn? What was it like when you started out on your entrepreneurial journey? What was going on in your life? And what did you discover quickly when you stepped out there?
Thank you. There was a lot going on in my life. I actually had a small business before I got divorced. And then when I got divorced, I actually went into my consulting journey. And what I will tell you is that when I went out to go on this journey of entrepreneurship, I thought that everyone was just going to welcome me with open arms and pay what I wanted them to pay and life was going to be good. But the truth is, there was a lot of hard work and years of working towards building what I have today.
Absolutely.
And in the beginning, the hours were long and the money was short.
And Say it again, sis. No, because people think they're going to be like instant millionaires, and it doesn't happen like that, folks. So what was that like for you? You had savings, of course.
I had savings.
Yes. So you went out there.
And I went through them.
Exactly, which happens. So how long was it before you saw a profitable company, or where you were at least kind of where you were before stepping out from corporate America into your own venture? What was that like?
That took almost 3 years just to get to a point that I could truly survive on working for myself. It took me another probably 3 or 4 years to get to the financial stability that I had when I was earning my six-figure income comfortably.
Guys, hear that again. 3 to 4 years, sometimes even 5 years before you start something that you have this vision for and you think it's going to, take off like a rocket. No, it doesn't happen like that. So what would you say are some of your best tips if people are thinking about going out there for real, like seriously wanting to take the plunge? What do you think, and what did you learn from your journey in terms of what they should know first?
Number one, go out with eyes wide open. If you're going to go into the entrepreneurship journey, just know that it is not glamorous in the beginning. It's not necessarily fun. It's fun because you're passionate about what you're doing, but it's long hours, it's hard work. You have to really be willing to step outside your comfort zone. You have to sell. You have to be able to build relationships, network. You have to be able to do marketing. You have to know your finances. You have to know what to charge. You have to understand your value. So when you go out there, go out eyes wide open, knowing you may have to put a lot of effort in. Number one. Number two, be prepared financially. Understand that you may have to shift the way you live today. You may have to have some money in the bank and go through it, or you may want to build a side hustle. But I tell people all the time, a side hustle is not 8 hours a week.
Oh, yes.
A side hustle is weekends,
yes.
nights, any free moment you have, you end up working to build something so that when you're ready to really launch, you can walk out of that corporate job, walk out of that comfortable paycheck, and be ready to earn what you're worth.
I love that. So you hear her loud and clear, guys. And I want to emphasize that everyone does not have to jump, right? So there's a lot of, glamour, and people say it. I love Steve Harvey, but he's telling everybody, he says if it's for you, actually, go ahead and jump. But it's okay to start where you are. It's okay while you still have a stable paycheck to keep pushing towards that entrepreneurial goal. And it doesn't make you less of an entrepreneur because you haven't fully, stepped out and are on your own. So talk a little bit about, before we go, I know we didn't get a touch on everything. You're going to check out her webpage for that, guys. But talk about the concept of sales. I think people underestimate how much you have to be comfortable as an entrepreneur with sales. What did you learn about sales in your journey?
Sales, the hardest thing about sales is actually asking for the sale. That's number one. Number two is pricing yourself at your value.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
When we go out to begin with, a lot of times we take what someone will give us, or what I call writing the end of the story. We assume they won't pay us what we're worth. So we go out and undersell ourselves from the beginning. And what I tell a lot of women is we set our value.
Wonderful.
So if you set your value at zero, your value is zero.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, someone needed that reminder. I think, sometimes we do undervalue ourselves, but it's also good to know what your value prospect is and can you articulate exactly what your value is? And you've learned that firsthand. Tell us a story about when you first were pitching yourself to a CEO and what she thought about your sales pitch.
So I submitted my proposal for a pretty large consulting gig, and she came back to me later and she said, everyone in the room loved you, everyone wanted you, but we could all tell from your proposal that you weren't ready. Your numbers didn't make sense. They were way too low for the size of the job. And the thing was, Suzette, I knew the size of the job. I knew what was required. In my head, I decided in advance they wouldn't pay what I knew it should cost.
Wow.
And they felt that I didn't value myself enough, and they were right.
Wow. So give us one more tip. How do you make that shift, guys? How do you understand what the true value of what you're offering is?
Mindset. We have to get back to the truth of the power that we possess. We are all unique, born with innate gifts. And when we remind ourselves of those gifts, when we sit down and really write down what it is that we offer to the world, what we offer to our clients, what our product offers, and then we recognize the value of that offering, and we believe it, truly believe it, now we can go out and sell it. And guess what? If they value it, if they value what you're selling and you can communicate that, they will buy it. If you can impact them in the way you're saying you can impact them, and that's what the impact they desire, they will pay for it.
Absolutely.
It's a win-win.
I need to go back to the drawing board of some of my offerings as well, ladies and gentlemen, because it's okay to say, I don't know what that is.
Yes.
So you do have to spend time writing it down and thinking about it and figuring out, what am I truly offering? And what would it be worth if I could do what I say I could do? Real quick, share with us some tips when it comes to the first 5 years. What did you learn besides saving up, of course, making sure you understand it's a full-time job and then some? Any other final tips that you have that people should know before they say, yes, I'm going to be an entrepreneur?
You are your boss. And we all think that that's great and a wonderful idea, but the hardest person to work for is you. Because you beat yourself up, or if you're not motivated, nothing gets done. You have to answer to you at the end of the day. And for someone who is better at having someone provide structure, it's someone who wants the comfort of a paycheck. Just recognize that it all falls on your shoulders. Not good, not bad. That's the truth.
Absolutely.
And so be ready to stand up on your own and stand up for what you want. and be okay with it not being perfect.
Absolutely. And I'll add, even on my entrepreneurial journey, I had a coach tell me one time, look at your day. What are you doing? And which activities actually help bring you clients or money? Yes. If you have a list and there are several that are not making you money, you need to cross those off and stop doing them right away. So as she says, it all comes back to you. But you don't have to be lonely in your journey. She offers a variety of coaching packages. Where can people find you, Julia, if they need that push?
So you can find me at shedefined.com. You can email me at julia@shedefined.com. And I'm on Instagram and Facebook as shedefinedinc.
And real quick, we're going to invite you right now to this year's second annual Speak Women's Empowerment Conference. You got to be there April 4th, City of Miramar at the Miramar Cultural Center. Julia was one of our speakers last year. She is back, you guys. And what was your experience like, real quick, at last year's Speak Conference?
Suzette, it was one of my most amazing experiences of 2019, and that's the truth. And the reason is because everyone on that stage was authentic and true. No one was trying to sell you anything. Their only goal was to provide value and love.
That's awesome.
And the most amazing part was the women and men who attended gave you back that love and that support in such an amazing way. I left that day feeling like I could conquer the world.
And that's our intention, guys.
Yeah.
If you need to start your 2020 off right, this is the conference for you. It's not an accident that you're watching it. Make sure you check out the links for both Julia and the conference in the bio. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your girl, Suzette Speaks. Love and light. See you next time.